if you come to the classes, you watch the reviews, right? You have to try and not make money. You have to try and not make money. Matt will literally like on his consult class, he will literally put your zip code in and he'll help you find deals. Like there is no excuse here to not make money. There is no excuse.
What's up, guys? Today, guys, I have Jared with me. Jared has been in my program for, I believe, 10 months now. I believe he joined last May. And Jared has absolutely just been, I'm just going to say it, murdering this whole thing. So, Jared, let's talk a little bit about like where you started, dude. Like in the very beginning, you were flipping couches. Let's talk about that. Let's start there and kind of tell people like why you started and why you're interested in flipping electronics. And then we'll go into the whole, $10,000 profit this month. And
flipping couches, I was struggling to make like, my best month, I was only making like $3,000 in profit. And even then that was like, I had to hustle really, really hard for it. So it pretty much just felt like a full-time job at that point. And honestly, I would have rather worked a full-time job looking back at it rather than doing those couches. Cause man, that's some back-bending work, man. It's like, even though I was only like, 21 years old, right? I thought that like, oh yeah, my back will be fine. No, I actually thought about flipping phones, but I got really scared of it because the information that I was finding on YouTube, right? I was really sketched out by it. And honestly, like there was a lot of holes that I didn't know. So when I found Chris's channel, and he, I learned from his free content, and then, I found out about a $7 a month program, right? And I was like, screw it. What's $7? That's a cup of coffee. I'll like, let's see where this goes. And then pretty much that's pretty much everything kind of just spiraled from there. Signed up for the 7-a-month program, around in May, right towards the end of my junior year in college, and then ever since that, and then got in touch with Chris, right, and then after I finished the program in about 2 weeks, he was like, hey, then I joined ERA, and then after that 6 months at ERA, now I'm in Rescale. Yeah, so I've been here for a minute now.
Yeah, but it hasn't really been that long. It's only been 10 months.
Oh yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it. It's only about 300 days. By the way, guys, for the people that are going to ask, the 7-a-month program is actually now my ebook. It's actually cheaper at this point. But you started from nothing essentially. I think you made like $1,000 your first month in. And then you were really interested in the accelerator program. And I still remember you were like, man, I don't know. I remember that. And then I invited you on to one of the calls and you were like, all right, I'm in. Like, I'm in. I still remember that. And you've been just growing ever since. And it's so cool.
Yeah. Honestly, Chris, like, it's like 2K back then to me, that felt like so much money, cause like I was, it's like, cause I was only making 1 to 2K a month off of the couches. You know what I mean? So now I look back on that, right? I'm just like, man, it's like if I knew how much I would grow, right, I would have dropped that 2K a lot sooner. Absolutely.
And now let's fast forward about, let's say, probably like 250 days from that point, right? Mm-hmm. And now you've made $10,000 in profit. And just so you guys know, this is not sales that we're talking about here. This is net profit. It's not sales. And you're actually over that now since we talked. So what are you at now?
I'm at after today's deals, I'll be hovering at around $12,000 profit.
And you took your family out for like a dinner and paid for it the other day, didn't you? How did that?
Was amazing. It felt great. So we took them out to I took them out to our like the favorite our favorite restaurant growing up, right? Like as I was growing up, and I pretty much bought like everything on the menu that we wanted. It felt really good. The fact that I was able to take them out to someplace really, really nice, right, was great for me.
I do want to point this out. So in the beginning, you said you were a little afraid of like flipping phones, and everybody is. But I want to point out the fact that most of your sales, I believe, aren't even phones. Is that right?
So it depends on month to month, but yes, actually, like I'll have some months where I sell more of the other electronics than I do phones. and phones would only make up about like not even 25% of my gross profit in that month. So yeah, I'm making money off of like, there's some months that like game consoles will crush it. There's some months that laptops will crush it, and there's sometimes they're like, oh, where cameras will crush it. So it's I'm not like, oh, we're not one trick ponies here. We're not one trick ponies.
For real. No, I think, and that's one thing I stress big time is like you want to expand because some months the phones just aren't going to do it for you, right? And then there's a fact that like with phones, if you're only doing phones, you actually have a lot more things to worry about than you do with the game consoles and the Oculuses and things like that. I would honestly say it's actually easier to flip the other things than it is phones. What would you say about that?
I would say my favorite thing for sure is to flip phones because it's like if I post them right and they sell, they're easy to package, right? But in terms of like return on your investment, and in terms of like the ease of sell, what I mean by ease, I mean like the peace of mind of selling, right? Yeah, absolutely. The other stuff will take the cake.
What do you think has been the biggest thing you've learned from the program overall?
The one thing I can attribute most of the success I've had is take care of your customers and follow up with them. That is the number one thing I've learned. Like if you follow up with them, Chris, you have no idea like how many times like the follow up is what gets people, okay? Because like most of the times they will say no the first time, right? And then the second time they'll still say no, but the third time they'll still say no. And then all of a sudden, right, because you're in their minds so much, I have people who say no to me come to me with the same price that I give them. It's like, hey, can you still do 220? Hey, can you still do 500? It happens all the time, okay? But you got to go fishing for it. You got to sit down. You got to actually do the work for it, okay? So don't think that like it's like these people are just going to come after you after one time. To those of you who are listening, but and also right, treat them with basic respect. These are human beings that we are interacting with. You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you straight up, people know when you're trying to pull a fast one on them. People know when you're trying to make a quick buck on them, right? But if you come to the meetup and if you're honest with them and you treat them with respect and you talk to them, I guarantee you they will come back.
What did you learn at Rescale?
How you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And goal setting helps with that. And goal setting helps with that. And also like, talking to yourself, telling yourself that you deserve this, telling yourself that you attract this, right? That's what I've learned. It's a term like, in other words, I like to use manifestation is pretty much what I've really picked up from this.
So let's talk about the future, man. So what's the goal for the next 6 months?
The goal for the next 6 months is to find ways to maintain this a six-figure. So in six-figure month, that's about $8,300 a month, right? That's a six-figure month. So what I'm trying to do is I want to maintain that for the next 6 months, and then with that money for the next 6 months, I want to see if I can go into different ventures using the skills that I learned from ERA and Rescale, right? The mentality and the soft skills, right? To go into hopefully another business, or maybe go into a career in which I can use those skills that I've learned.
So that's one thing that Rescale is actually meant to do as well, is it's meant to build you up to the point where you can eventually exit into a higher end opportunity. Because I always saw reselling as a stepping stone myself. I still believe it is that. Like you can maintain it for a good while, but after a while, you get worn out. You get
tired.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what I did, right? I started a marketing agency out of my reselling company. I started a coaching business out of the reselling. I started multiple different things out of it. But the skills that I learned along the way, holy crap, like you're stacking these skills, right? Like ever since you joined ERA, Rescale, you've learned how to run Facebook ads, how to run Instagram ads, how to run Google ads, how to track your KPIs, how to understand math and like how it works and computes in the business world.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Like that was a huge thing for you, following up all of the lead generation, like these skills that you acquired compared to like how much you spent it's probably like it's nothing, right?
I mean, think about it this way, right? You know, it's like this 1 month, right, would have already paid for both of the programs I was in twice fold, you know. So that chat is I love that chat so much because you know, it's like when you see other people hungry, it makes you hungry as well. Because I'm a big proponent of it's not enough, in my opinion, to compare yourself to yourself, right? You want to like strive. You want to strive for people. You want to strive for people who right now are doing better than you are.
Just so you guys know, we are accepting people into the accelerator program, which is the ERA program right now. Is there anything you'd like to tell people that are like brand new? Because you came in brand new, right? Yep. What would you tell those people about working with me, with Matt, and within the community itself?
First of all, right, Matt and Chris are exceptional teachers. Okay, everything you learn in every single call, you can apply right away. Okay, and finally, let go of the fear. Don't be scared. Okay, because what's the worst that can happen? Seriously, the worst thing that can happen is you're stuck in the same position as you were last year.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, like seriously, there is absolutely, like, you have to. I think I said this in the last interviews too. Well, it's like if you come to the classes, you watch the reviews, right? You have to try and not make money. You have to try and not make money. Like if you're, of course, you're gonna sit on your butt all day, right? You're not gonna make any money, right? But it's like come on, guys. There's just really not much to lose here.
Yeah, that's one thing we did in our program is we made it very, very difficult to not make money. I mean, those console calls with Matt alone, where he's sourcing for everybody.
Oh yeah, come on now.
Like,
come on now. Yeah.
Like really sending deals to you, like it like how do you not make money that way, right? Like
Matt will literally, like, on his console calls, he will literally put your zip code in and he'll help you find deals. Like there is no excuse here to not make money. There's no excuse.
I love it. All right, Jared. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing this. This is the fourth time. It's love seeing your progression through, the past 10 months. For anybody who's interested in getting into the ERA program, which is the accelerator program, feel free to drop apply below. And then on YouTube, whenever this is up for the replay, you guys will also, there will be the whole application thing in the description below. So make sure to check that out. Appreciate it. Jared, thanks for coming on, man. And can't wait to see what you do in the next couple of months, man.
Thanks, Chris.